Okay, so today Katie and I are going to talk about learning English. Please tell me, Katie, do you like learning English?
Yes, I do.
Why do you like it?
Because because it have me talk about easy for to learn.
It helps me to talk to foreigners easily. Okay, how often do you learn English?
I often learn English 3 times a week.
Where do you learn it?
I often learn English at school and go to Homestay.
Okay, what are you good at and what are you bad at?
I'm good at reading and I'm bad at writing.
Okay, do you often use body language?
Yes, I do.
Any examples? How do you use it? Or when do you use it?
I often shake my head to show that I don't know.
Like yes, no, right? We shake our hands, we wave our hand when we say hi or goodbye, and so on. These are some easy examples, okay? So we use our face and hands. Okay, besides English, what other languages do you want to learn and why?
I want to learn language.
What language do you want to learn?
I want to learn Japanese.
Japanese. Why do you want to learn Japanese?
Because I like Japan.
You like the country. Do you like Japanese music, Japanese food, Japanese movies? Why do you like it? You like the culture?
Because I like the culture of Japan.
Japanese culture. Yes, it's an interesting country, and Japanese culture is very rich. Okay, so do you learn English to get a certificate?
Yes, I do.
Why do you need it?
Because it helps me easily find a job.
Yes, it's useful for your future career. That's right. Do you think learning English is easy or difficult, and why?
I think learning English is so difficult.
Why?
Because the pronunciation is so different.
Yes, the pronunciation, right? The grammar, everything is different. Do you often start the conversation when you see foreigners? What topics do you often talk to them?
Yes, I do, and I often talk the culture and food my country.
Not culture, but culture. I talk about Vietnamese food and culture. Okay. What do you think about the pronunciation in English? Before you say that it's very difficult, is it important? Yes, no, and why? What can you say about the pronunciation in English?
I think pronunciation is important.
The pronunciation is important. Why do you think so?
Because it's easy to communicate with foreigners and make them understand what I said.
Yes. So the wrong pronunciation can cause misunderstandings, or if it's absolutely wrong, nobody will understand what you're talking about, right? Okay. Do you make friends with foreigners to practice your English?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I'm shy.
Because you're shy, okay. Do your teachers often help you to correct your mistakes?
Yes, I do.
Yes, they do. So, are you afraid of making mistakes? How do you feel about that?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Why?
Because making mistake is part of growing.
So how do you feel about making mistakes? When you make a mistake, how do you feel? Do you feel angry, confused, shy, irritated? For example, I'm not afraid to make mistakes, but I feel shy because it's embarrassing for me to make mistakes. What about you? Are you really scared, or you just don't feel comfortable with that? You feel embarrassed or even ashamed?
I feel shy.
You feel shy, okay. In your opinion, what is the best way to learn English?
In my opinion, I think the best way to learn English is repeat the vocabulary after lesson and note down important words in my notebook.
So the best way to learn English is to make notes and to repeat the vocabularies after the class, right?
Yes.
Do you often use Google Translate? Yes, no, and why?
Yes, I often use Google Translate.
Why?
Because it's quite useful.
Yes, but it makes a lot of mistakes. And it cannot translate sometimes some important things like slangs and idioms. So why do you use Google Translate in that case? Why Google is useful for you?
Because I don't know.
I told you just when we practiced these questions a couple of minutes ago. The biggest benefit of Google Translate is that it's easy to use and it's fast. It gives you a fast answer just in a second when you finish typing the word. That's why many people use it all over the world. Easy to use, fast to use. That are the biggest benefits. It's not good for learning English, but good in the situation when you need to get the translation as soon as possible. Do you often imitate the accent? Which accent is better, American or British?
Yes, I often mistake the action,
Which one?
and I refer American to Western
British. Why? Why do you choose American?
because American is more popular today.
It's more popular today. That's right. Do you usually learn any slangs or idioms in English?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because it's so difficult for me.
Yes, they are necessary, but if you don't have a good base, it can be difficult to remember them. Okay, now it's your turn to ask the questions. 5, 6 questions, please.
If you like another country, do you think how long you can get over the culture shock?
Okay, again, please note it, not culture, culture. The U sound we read as a, culture, and not live, but leave. If I live in another country, I think it depends on the place. For living in America, I suppose I would need half a year or even more to get used to the local life. Yes, I can speak English quite well, but their culture and the way of thinking is absolutely different from the one that I used to. So I think it would be hard for me to, to feel comfortable there. But when I moved living to Vietnam, it took me just a couple of weeks to make friends and to get over the shock.
Do you often use body language, and what body language do you often use?
Well, I have a lot of classes with little kids, and I noticed that body language helps them to memorize the vocabularies better. And also when I use my fingers, do any gestures, or, when I use my face, when I smile, when I do some funny things, they feel more comfortable with me. And yes, this helps them to study with fun. The same happens with adults. They also can memorize the information faster, and I'm very emotional. That's why using body language is a common thing for me.
How do you remember the vocabulary?
Well, first of all, when I find a new word, I write it down in my notes, and then I find this word in the Cambridge dictionary, read the example sentences, find the one that is easiest for me to remember, also write it down in the notes. And sometimes, if, for example, if it's a verb, I also look through some phrasal verbs that can be useful for me. And after repeating these words and phrases for a couple of times, I try to create the situation, or maybe to brainstorm the idea where I can use this vocabulary and speak aloud. It helps me to memorize the new words. Also, I try to use new words every time when it's possible, when I speak. The more I use it, the easier for me to remember it for a long time.
Do you think pronunciation is important, and why?
Definitely, yes, it's really important because sometimes the pronunciation can change the meaning of the word. For example, present and present. I don't know, prepare and repair. They sound similar, but they're absolutely different. Also, if the pronunciation is totally wrong, foreigners will not understand what you've said. Especially, it's hard for native speakers to understand, the wrong language. For non-natives, it's easier because they made their own mistakes at the beginning also, so they got used to hear, some funny pronunciations. Yes, but but native speakers, they will never understand you if you don't practice your pronunciation well.
Are
One last
you
question.
afraid of make? Are you a mistake and why?
Well, to be honest, I'm not afraid to make mistakes because it's a normal thing, especially when you learn the language. But I always feel confused and in some way ashamed because, especially if it's not a new word, I feel not comfortable to show the lack of knowledge. I don't think that I should be perfect, but still I try to be as good as possible in everything that I do. Okay, thank you so much today, Katie, and I practiced the topic Learn English. Next time we can meet again and discuss something else. Thank you.